Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to make a few comments as well. And I want to also thank Senator Uyghur and Senator Torres-Ray for their leadership on this excellent piece of legislation. I also, in terms of the assessments and how we came up with this particular plan, as I've said before on the floor, this was really a work of many people. And as we have some pieces of paper on our desk here, really only two groups are opposed. Chamber of Commerce, the Business Partnership. They want the test cut score. But when you talk to people like me, my colleagues, who I'm in the teaching in the classroom for the last 30 years, talk to the superintendents, talk to the principals, you talk to the school boards, you talk to other organizations such as the rural educators, the metropolitan school districts, the people that are in the trenches in our schools every day, all year, they said this is the right approach. And we needed to address this issue. In 2009 and 10 school year, 26,000 students did not pass the math grad test. Only 58% of 11th graders passed the math grad test that year. Dave Heisted, Bloomington School District Testing Director, estimates that the state's graduation rate would drop by at least 15% if students were required to pass all the grad tests at this point. If the legislature fails to address this issue, many students may complete all the required academic credits to graduate from high school, even be accepted to college, but not be able to graduate because they were unable to pass the grad test, the fatalistic, punitive test, 40 questions that disregards all of your other 13 years of education. Senator Nelson said that there's no expectations. Well, I actually believe she was a teacher once. When I have a classroom full of kids in my civics class, I have high expectations. Matter of fact, civics is a required class, just as the 4 years of math or 3 years of English and that you need in high school. And you know what? Kids that don't pass my civics class, they don't get the credit, and if they don't get the credits, ultimately they can't graduate. We have high expectations in our classroom. It is not seat time. I was failing up to 20 students per semester in my 9th grade civics class, and that was bad. That was wrong. Until we as a school district came together and said, what can we do for these students without regard to a cut score? And now we have put into place some reforms in the last 5-6 years that are addressing those issues. We don't need a test score to tell us that we need to improve. We have professional learning communities. We have a student academy for 9th graders. We have structured study halls. We have response to intervention. We are putting in place some real reforms that work. And now we're adding a testing suite of assessments that are really going to make things better. It isn't like we're waiting till the last minute. You failed the 11th grade high stakes test, you're done. You drop out of school. So now let's add the social costs of what a person who can't graduate because of one 40-point test score is going to do for them. What kind of costs are those going to be for our society beyond the classroom? And so we have put into place a suite of assessments at 8th and 10th and 11th where earlier diagnostics, earlier remediation, we have smarter testing. And that one test can't be the one tool to determine whether a student is good or bad. You know what? My ACT score, I should not have got into college. I was a horrible test taker. And I teach driver's ed. You know what? I think the driver's test is flawed. I believe there should be a score on that particular test, but I believe that's flawed as well. And I think that there should be reforms there as well. So I think what we have in place, when you think about the experts that have put this together, the people that are in the trenches every day, the superintendents, the school boards, the teachers, the principals, the guidance counselors, they're the ones that are telling us that this is what we need for our future, this is what we need for now. Not one high-stakes test that's fatalistic that causes people to drop out and not find their way. So we've had this debate. I think I'm going to put it to bed now. I'm very proud of the work that's been done over this last session on this. I'm very proud. Next week, I'm going back to the classroom on Tuesday. And you know what? My counselor, my math teacher, my principal, my superintendent are going to thank me. They're going to thank the legislature for the legislation that we've passed, not only in assessments, but in the funding that we've put in place for early childhood, for all-day kindergarten, for special education for the formula. I think we're moving in the right direction. Thank you.